Welcome to this special edition of, I don't think we have a name. Yesterday Nathan was calling it Deal Talk. But welcome to the special training teleconference. We're going old school. No webinars, no screenshots, no fancy gizmos, gadgets, or software. Just two real guys flipping a lot of houses, telling you what to do and how to do it, and teaching you and giving you some guidance, and answering your questions live on the line Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
There you go.
So there you go. So Melissa's telling me she can barely hear me, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit here, and hopefully that'll be better. Maybe she'll IM me and let me know if she can hear me better now. But anyway, so I'm Larry Goins, and I'm really excited that you guys are here. We've got some specific things that we want to share with you guys today, and I have on the line a special guest with me. He's a really good friend of mine. I think the world of him. Not only is he a successful real estate investor working in my office every day doing deals, but he's also doing deals on his own, and he is my head coach. He coaches our students, keeps them on track, helps them, guides them, directs them, and most importantly, he manages my whole house flipping business. He is my operations guy. He does everything from recruit, train, motivate, manage, and help implement the systems and processes that Paul puts in place, and we'll talk about Paul at some point through the call. But yeah, let me give a warm welcome to Randolph Cunningham. Yay, Randolph.
How's everyone? What's up, Larry?
How you doing, man?
Man, look, I'm just happy that you and I can talk without the music playing in the background. Man, I don't know how much you heard yesterday, man. That was funny. But
I hear
yeah,
you.
Man.
You know what? I was in the waiting room at the hospital, but I was on the line the whole time, so I was right in there with everybody else, listening to the music and the background and all that stuff. And I know you guys had technical difficulties and weren't able to mute the lines. So today it looks like we've got success. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And but I'm just really, really excited to have you on here with me teaching and training because, you know, we work together, but you are in the trenches every day doing the deals. Will you start out, Randolph, and just give people a little bit of background about who is Randolph Cunningham?
Randolph Cunningham, born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. No, man, I tell you, you know, I can't express my gratitude, man, just for being part of this team and just being a part of what we're doing and just seeing how we evolving and, you know, just especially with all the changes in the industry, man, and the beauty of just learning new things. You know, the business is always changing. You always have opportunity to learn, and I'm just thrilled just to be in the industry that I'm in, man, because in spite of what happens, we're in an industry where we can still be able to plug in and make things happen, still make a living, still provide for our families. And I'm just thrilled about it, even more so being thrilled to be able to teach people, man. I think about when you and I, we first got started, and, well, when I first got started, you was already well in the game when I got started. But, you know, when I first got to the business back in 2000, I was a loan officer. It was a partner of mine. We were working in a little office that he was renting out, and, you know, I didn't know anything about the business, and he came and said, look, you just bring in the business and I'll close the deals. So I'll go out and beat the streets and talk to all these business owners about refinancing their houses and, you know, and began to pick up some investor clients, man, and start to do some refis for them. And that's really where you guys came into the picture. I know it was Financial Help Services then, man, and you guys were flipping houses and doing hard money lending and doing a lot of loans for investors, and you guys were one of my lenders, and I just fell in love with the company right then, man. I was actually just looking to pick up another lender to send my deals through. But, just love what you guys represented. Met Wendy, Tim back then, and and I jumped on board, man, and it's been great. Learned a lot about the business. I've done a lot of wholesale deals of my own, done some fix and flips, had some rentals, and just learned a lot. And I just think without the start from, being connected with you and financial help and the Goins Group back then, man, it's really done a lot for me. And I look at the coaching and the mentoring and stuff that I'm able to do for your students and, not just the new people, but the seasoned guys. They're just being able to give back and just have opportunity to hold their hand and guide them through a lot of the things and that, I was fortunate enough to be a part of and see evolve back then. So I'm thrilled, man. I'm thrilled.
And you know what, Randolph? It's really, really cool to hear you say that because it's kind of funny, man. As I travel around the country, even around the world, speaking at different places and even go into our different events that we have, people will see me. They'll come right in. They'll walk up to me and be kind of looking past me. Hey, where's Randolph? Where's Randolph? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's my event. Yeah, but Randolph helped me close my first deal. Randolph got me to the point I am right now. I want to see Randolph. What time's he going to be here?
Wow.
So it's awesome, man.
Wow.
It's great.
That's funny.
Well, it's nothing I hadn't told you before, but I'm so proud to have you on the team. I'm so proud that you're able to help so many people and you have so many successful students and success stories on your own. So let's just do this. We're going to, just so you guys know, we are going to open this up for some Q&A here in a little while, okay? So grab a pen and paper and be thinking about any specific question you might want to ask, and I'll tell you how to unmute your line here in just a little bit, and you can unmute your line when we talk about asking questions. So if you have specific questions, we are going to give you some time to do that, okay? So first of all, I want to let you guys know, if you were on the call yesterday, Nathan told you, and Nathan, he works with our business advisors, our course consultants in the office that help people get up and running with our courses. That's one of the reasons we have so many successful students is we have guys in the office that help them consume that course and answer questions about the course and things like that. They're not coaches, but they're what we call course consultants or business advisors and help you get started. They kind of lead you down the right path. But one of the things is Nathan was on here yesterday and did a phenomenal job, especially for all the problems that we had, the audio problems and technical difficulties. But Nathan had mentioned that I wasn't able to be on here because of being at the hospital with my mom, and I was. But just so you guys know, and I'm not sure if Nathan really understood exactly what was going on with that, but my mom had some surgery yesterday, and I had anticipated being back by 3 o'clock yesterday, but I ended up not even getting back or getting her home until 5:30. So when you're dealing in the medical field and appointments and all that good stuff, I guess there's no way to really tell how long it's going to take. So I apologize for not being here and being on the call. And I was on the call, but I was sitting in a waiting room. And the doctor came in about half the time through, tell me everything went fine with my mom's surgery, and then she had to go to recovery, and then I took her home. But I really appreciate all of you guys' emails and calls and feedback and prayers. I really do appreciate that, and my mom does as well. So having said that, I just want to start out. Randolph and I are going to talk about 3 very important things that you need to be aware of, and 3 very important things that seem to come up more than anything else when Randolph or I are talking to students and they're saying, what is the biggest holdup? What's your biggest challenge? What's the biggest thing? So, Randolph, having said that, why don't you tell all of our listeners, and I keep hearing people banging in on this call, we're going to have 300 or 400 people on here. This is awesome. So
sweet,
just for those of you who are just joining us, we are going to open it up for some Q&A here after a while. I know it's going to get crazy, but we are going to open it up for some Q&A. So, but anyway, Randolph, why don't you start with number 1? What's the first thing that people tell you is one of the biggest challenges in going from working a regular job just trying to make it happen and trying to break into this real estate business?
Yeah, man. I just thinking about that. I mean, I think it will take time. A lot of people say, hey, they know there's a lot of potential in the real estate business, and they're looking at what you're doing, what other people are doing in the offices, and seeing what the market is rendering, and just say, hey, how can I get into this? I'm working this full-time job. I'm working 9 to 5. I got a family. I got children at home, and it's tough. It's tough. Most people love the idea of being able to own their own business, but in practically speaking, how do you make that transition from working a full-time job to making the time to make offers and market your property and sell your house, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's not, especially when it's just you. And I always recommend, starting out, especially when you're first starting out in the business, and you don't really know what you're doing, and don't maybe not know a whole lot about your market. One of the biggest things that can help you is to network. And networking is just, I look at it as connecting with like-minded people that are also in the business as well, that's doing or already doing what you're trying to do. And I talk about that because then you talk about time. Well, a lot of networking can be done by going to certain groups and just plugging in, but a lot of networking can be done online. Just connecting with people of like mind. There's so many different networking sites and groups that you can be a part of. That the reason why I bring that up is because oftentimes it's hard to get started on your own, but if you're able to network and connect with like-minded people, other professionals in the business, and begin to connect with them, man, I've seen so many partnerships, man. I'm thinking about a student in particular, Susan. Man, she started networking. Here's what she did. She didn't even leave her home. She was buying property in another state. I want to say she was in Illinois. Anyway, she started networking on an online, one of the REAL groups online, and she called the guy who was heading up the REAL group. This guy agreed to not just market her deals to all 400 of his members, but also to be a buyer for her. So meaning she was using his funds to do her deals, and he was making offers, doing all these different things, and all that came from networking. Whenever she picked up a property, she didn't have to go out here and market it. All she had to do was send it to him, and he did all the marketing for her. Whenever she needed to make an offer, he had connections with real estate agents in his REAL group that would help make the offers for her. So, all that came about just by her networking and finding someone else in the business that was further along than she was or had something going on that she didn't, and she made that connection, and it really helped her streamline her business. And really what it helped her do is to maximize her time. While she was working her full-time job, she was still able to have her business work and get her deals done. So in time, she'll be transitioned out of that job later on this year. So
that's awesome, man. That's good. Hey, I heard a story. I heard a saying one time, and I'm really big on one-liners. I heard a saying one time: your network increases your net worth.
Oh man, that's good, and that's so true.
You can write that one down if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna use it.
That's awesome, man. Good. But that's good. So what you're telling me is number one is time. Number one is time. People don't have a lot of time, but by increasing their network, going to their local REIA group, getting on the business forums, going to connectedinvestor.com, biggerpockets.com, realestateinvestor.com, and networking and building their buyers list and building their network of people for lenders, for buyers, for properties, getting out there and networking and getting in the game. That helps them to not have to spend as much time in the business as somebody else who doesn't have a full-time job. Is that kind of what you're saying in a nutshell?
Absolutely. I mean, just with 1 hour a day, using 1 hour a day to focus on networking and connecting with like-minded people in the business, can do tons for your business. So absolutely. Even with
awesome.
the limited amount of time you have, it can definitely be done.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So we like to tell people what we do is we help people put together systems and processes and procedures just like we do here in our office. I mean, we have systems and processes where we have, we have virtual assistants. We pretty much run the majority of our business with VAs, right, Randolph?
Absolutely. They do a lot of work.
They typically make a few dollars an hour, about $3 an hour.
Yeah, that's an average.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, guys. It's not like we're even paying them for 40 hours a week. We got one that might work 10 or 15 hours a week, one that might work 20, and I think we have one that works 30. He worked an average the last few weeks of 36 hours a week. But check it out, Randolph. Tell them how many deals we have under contract right now to buy.
20. I think we have 25 deals under contract right now.
That's 25 deals in the pipeline, and Randolph is managing that whole thing, and he's doing it with the VAs, the $3 an hour VAs. 25 deals under contract. Man, that is huge. You are demand.
Man, hey,
I love having you on the team, man.
Well, hey,
and that's in between. That's running that business. I'm sorry, man. That's running that business in between your coaching students, right?
Right.
That's cool.
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
So let's go from time. We tell people you need to spend about 5 to 7 hours a week because ain't nobody got time for that. Most people trying to get in real estate, they got a full-time job they're trying to get out of. But the problem is everything everybody else out there teaches you, they teach you how you got to go out there and do all this stuff. Well, the thing that Randolph and I work with you and teach you how to do is to have other people. Everybody talks about OPM, other people's money, other people's money. Let's talk about OPE, other people's efforts. That's what we help you do so you can spend about 5 to 7 hours a week because, see, most people working a full-time job, everything everybody else out there teaches you about real estate, the problem is you're trying to do real estate nights and weekends, and you end up with 2 jobs. Well, you didn't want the first one. Now you got 2.
Right.
Am I right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's just like the guy who stopped in our office, and I tell people all the time, hey, if you're ever in the Carolinas, close to Lake Wiley, stop by and see us. We had a student that was at our boot camp a few months ago. He stopped by to see us for lunch, and we hung out for a little while, and that was some of the things that we talked to him about. He's so busy working in his job, he can't work on his job, and that's some of the things that you help people do. Am I right, Randolph?
That's right, and putting those systems in place. I mean, like you said, we already have a lot of people already have a job. They're not looking to create another one. So the idea is to be able to create a business, rather it's you working on it or in it, or it's just running by itself, and you just maybe making a few phone calls, touching bases with your VAs. You're still able to produce. That all your efforts aren't relied on what you can accomplish yourself. So that's absolutely key.
That's exactly right. And when we talk about systems, guys, I want you to understand this. We're not talking about gadgets and gizmos and software and all that stuff. We're just talking about creating SOPs, standard operating procedures, and putting processes and procedures in place that allow you to work on your business instead of in your business so much. Now, yes, I'll be the first one to tell you, when you get started, you got to work in your business. You got to get it up and running, but you got to be smart enough to want to be a business owner and not be that technician that's out there having to do all the work all the time. And don't get me wrong, we all got to be doing something, okay? We all got to be doing something during the day. I don't want to retire. I mean, think about this. I read an article recently about Ringo Starr still touring at 73 years old, one of the Beatles. This guy is still touring at 73 years old. Now, think about this.
Wow.
Do you think he needs to tour to pay his mortgage? No.
Highly unlikely.
He's doing it because he loves it, because he wants to. Guys, what Randolph and I help you do and teach you to do and implore you to do is get into real estate if you love it. if you're passionate about it, if you think about it, if you want to do it, and if you love it. Because if you don't like it, if you're not passionate about it, it's just going to be another get-rich-quick thing anyway. And real estate is not get-rich-quick. It's get-rich-slow. Now, you can make a lot of money at it. We all know that. But it's not get-rich-quick. It's get-rich-slow. And that's some of the things that we teach our students.